guys, and welcome to the Unlucky Frog Gaming Podcast. You are joined by one of your usual hosts, Josh Hartley, one of our frequent guest hosts, Esteemed guests, yes, Tom Mannering.
Hello.
And first time on the podcast, Mr. Ewan Bowers.
Long-time listener.
Long-time listener? First time
listenee.
Listenee.
I don't know if that's right.
That's not right.
Weak in English.
Yeah.
Weak in English.
A little bit.
How are we both doing, gents?
I'm doing good, yeah.
Very, very good. Very full.
Yes.
Very cool.
We have just devoured a Chinese. Well, I finished my Chinese anyway.
Oh, I bought too much.
Yeah. Well, you had the whole munchie box.
I grazed.
Yeah.
Let's not make that public,
away.
Josh.
Sorry. We can edit this out.
Of course. Edit the contents of my stomach out.
This won't be edited out. Anyway, I'm joined by Tom and Ewan today because we have just been through to ComiCrazy in Paisley for the pre-release for the new Magic the Gathering set, Core Set 2019. Corsets are back.
Corsets.
Core sets
There we go.
are back.
Yeah.
Corsets never left.
Yeah.
Corsets have
How do
always
you
been
think I
in.
keep this trim figure?
Yeah. And, patrons will be interested to know that soon we will be releasing Unlucky Frog branded corsets. So there we are.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Yes, that's an exclusive there. So we're going to talk about what we got up to at pre-release in a moment. But just before we dive into that, has there been any big news in terms of tabletop?
So one of the big announcements that came out on the 5th of this month was that Warhammer 40,000 is getting a new kill team release.
Another one.
Kill team, for those who don't follow Warhammer 40k, is their sort of single squad.
Yeah, it's kind of skirmish based. It's more narrative. Characters have names and they have a bit of backstory and they have like special abilities.
I thought that was Shadow War Armageddon.
It is and it isn't. Shadow War Armageddon is like kind of the soft touch version of Kill Team.
It's Kill Team
like,
without being called Kill Team.
Yeah, basically. I think it was like kind of...
And now we're getting Kill Team.
Shadow War felt like we want to re-release Necromunda, but we don't want to call it Necromunda. Oh, no, wait, we've changed our mind. We're just going to do Necromunda as well.
Yeah, I think
the response was good enough to Shadow War Armageddon that they went, okay, people are interested in specialist games.
I think we've seen...
that without me being like sounding like a dick, like I just did, that's probably what happened. So
I think they're basically, they've seen that there is a popularity and a desire for these skirmish games, and Kill Team's got the branding, so bring it back. So yeah, that's been announced. Not many details on when it's coming out, but there's some cool terrain. This is going to be a big feature of it. Sort of building that sort of 3-dimensional board and having layers to it.
Sort of hive.
Yeah. Which is really, really cool. They've said, you're going to have characters that level up. They're going to get like special abilities. So each character will have their own sort of personality on the battlefield. So not much information at the moment, but what we've seen and the models are as always top notch.
Yep. And
the new terrain is beautiful. It mirrors some of the terrain we've already seen for 40k, but it's got more of kind of a city look to it.
Okay.
So
what models have they previewed so far?
Mainly the terrain is the big thing. I think the rest of the models that they're previewing are just re-releases of existing models, but they've been released in a Kill Team format.
Sure, it's like smaller boxes.
Small boxes, and what I quite like is you can get like a team, like Space Wolves, and you get a couple of Space Wolf Marines, but you also get a bit of terrain in the team.
Oh,
and
that's
then your
neat.
rules. Yeah,
I like that.
So if we all went out, for example, and bought a team, we'd have enough terrain to probably put on a game as well.
I think this is one of the reasons why these skirmish... They're really starting to push these skirmish games, right? It's because, as great as Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40k are, they're significant investments for someone who's just getting into the hobby. Something like Kill Team, you buy a squad of 5 guys. I don't know what the recommended retail price on these are, but I imagine it's fairly modest compared to what you're going to sink into for an army for 40k. It's a good platform into getting into the hobby, so I think it's a really good idea. It doesn't surprise me in the slightest that they're revisiting this space. Have they announced a release date?
No. This is a thing. They've just kind of let this information out, and it is through the Warhammer community, so it is official. But they've not stuck a release date on it. At least not at the time of this recording.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
We'll keep you guys posted as and when further details get released by Games Workshop. Right, yeah. So now that we've covered off the news, we're going to talk about pre-release. However, as you normally do at pre-release, you get given a couple of prize packs.
Oh, how well did you do, Josh? How many prize packs did you get?
We all got two, Ewan. We all got two.
Yeah.
However, what I've done is I thought it'd be fun to save mine, and we're gonna open them up, and let's do like a little pack one, pick one. Let's say if we're drafting this set. What would you guys go for?
I like the fact you said we're going to open it up, but you're like hoarding this like it was your last meal. You're just hoarding it.
Do you know what, Tom?
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Right, okay.
Sure.
If you're handing it out, I'll do it.
Yeah, come on, right. Get up close to the mic.
I am Seamus. Right, okay. Now these are being opened live.
Insert pack opening sound effect now.
MP3.
Here we go. Right. Okay. So let's go through each one.
Okay.
And at the end we'll decide which one are we going to take for our draft.
Right. Well, my knowledge of Magic the Gathering is extensive.
Yes.
It reaches back as far as M19.
Yeah.
That's this set.
That is this set.
That is this set. Core 19. We have a lovely Catalyst Elemental.
Elemental.
I actually drafted this one today. It's not great.
So for 1 red and 2 colourless mana, you get a 2/2 elemental, sacrifice Catalyst Elemental, add red.
I can tell you one thing. In my decks where I was splashing colours, it only cost 1 red mana, and you get 2 red mana. The number of times I was sat there at the stop, waiting on the bus to turn up, and I was never drawing what I needed.
Yeah.
So that seems pretty cool.
Okay.
I don't rate it, but
no, that's fair. I mean, as you can see, my extensive knowledge says that's a good card.
So what have we got next?
Next up, Lich's Caress.
Lich's Caress, black, and 3 colourless. Destroy target creature. You gain 3 life. Removal spells are always great. Rule of thumb, and this is unconditional removal as well. It is a sorcery, which means you can't do it on your opponent's turn, but otherwise this is a solid card.
I drafted this one as well.
I drafted this one.
There we go.
I said drafted. I picked.
Yeah, you picked it in your pool.
I was playing white, black, green, which I believe is Abzan.
Yes.
I don't know what that means, but it was Abzan. This saved me a couple of times. From removal is awesome.
Yes.
And another one that saved me, Inspired Charge.
Inspired Charge is white, and 2 colourless, instant. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. So this is a very common effect that you'll see in Limited. The sort of inspiring presence where you buff all of your creatures all at once.
Is this what's known as a combat trick?
Yes. Except normally combat tricks only affect one creature. This affects all of your guys.
What I really like about this card is the artworks by Wayne Reynolds, and he's one of my favourite artists. He does a lot of Pathfinder art as well.
So, the pool of artists they use for Magic the Gathering is insane. Like, the sheer volume of different talent they pull in for that game. And it's a really cool piece of art, actually. It's such a shame because it's a common card, right? And it's probably not one that will see competitive play. But at the same time, it's really nice that they put that much effort into a card like this as they would like a top tier card that's definitely pushed for comp play.
This is another one that I picked, and I used it a couple of times. In my second game, my opponent was I imagine pretty new like myself, and I managed to catch him out with this one. But in my third game, I actually played against like a really good player, and when I attacked with all my creatures, and he was like, well, I can beat all of these. I goes, I've been caught out. And I was sitting there with all my open mana. He went, I know what you've got in your hand, mate. The next card is, I would say this, we've already got removal in this pack, but one of the ones that you'd probably think about drafting, Druid of the Kill.
Druid of the Cowl is green and 1 colourless for a 1/3 elf. You can tap it to add green mana.
Right.
It is as what is known in the business as a mana dog. Yes.
I did not know that.
There we go. You've learned something.
Every day is a school day.
Every day.
I like this. It's classic green.
Yes.
Elf, tap for mana, decent bit of defense on it. I know you're a fan as well.
I'm a big fan as well, and I can imagine you are too with the whole Tom mana ring.
That's it. That's what I'm all about.
Zero mana ring.
Wow.
Mana ring.
Wow.
I'm not here to take Scott's throne.
You don't, Paul. You're not even
slightly
sorry.
Yeah.
I'd do it again.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
The next awesome card, Divination.
Divination. The classic blue and 2 colourless sorcery. Draw 2 cards.
No condition.
Amazing. Like whenever I play any game that's based with cards, whenever I read draw more cards, I know this is good.
Yeah. I think Divination's a classic for that. It's a good, you're not trading anything off for it, you're not discarding anything, it's just straight card draw, 3 mana.
Yeah.
Can't really go wrong with it.
Exactly.
Next up, Spark Tongue Dragon.
Spark Tongue Dragon. I used this in my pool and it proved quite useful. Red, and 3 colourless for a 3/3 red dragon. So far, a little below par. However, so it has flying. But when Spark Tongue Dragon enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 colourless and 1 red. When you do, it deals 3 damage to any target. So this is effectively a 3/3 flyer, which, while isn't massive, decent enough. Got a bit of evasion to it. But it's also, when you have enough mana, a removal spell in 1.
So like a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's the Spark Tongue. So you've got a little lightning thing coming in.
Nothing gets past you.
No.
Did you use the secondary ability?
Yes.
Because I had this in my deck and I used it a couple of times.
Yes.
It's a tricky one to get off because of the full cost, because you need 8 mana in total, but it is good.
I think it's worth it because you're usually killing something with it, and so you're getting a new creature on the board and you're getting rid of one of theirs. So it's a 2 for 1.
Yep.
So that's pretty decent.
Next up, the bane of my deck, the Bog Stomper.
Bog Stomper. Black and 4 colourless for just a 6/5.
6/5.
It's just a 6/5 beast.
That was my win condition in my bring out a 6/5. It looks as dumb as it is.
It's basically if a crocodile and a hippo had a baby
and lay in my hand long enough to grow grass on its back.
Yeah.
Which it did. Yeah. Not great.
I had this and I did use it in my end game and I didn't mind it. It's not great, it's certainly not the best cost 6 you're going to be dropping, but it's okay. I was quite black centric, so it was easy for me to get out. I didn't have the same when I had mana it was easy for me to get out. I didn't have the same difficulties. Black
was like the second of my colours, so getting that second black wasn't always
a given. Yeah.
That's a fine art when it comes to these sealed events and even drafting is how much mana of each colour do you take?
Yes.
Because they're not. I mean, one of my games, I drew all my black stuff and only had white mana, and I sat it. What's going on here?
I mean, as you kind of point out, Bowers, though, it's maybe not the win condition that you want, but it might end up being the win condition that you need.
Yeah, it's like the Batman.
Batman of weird hippo crocodile monsters.
Yeah. What we got next?
Next up is Lava Axe.
Axe. This is old school. This
I think it's even the same art.
Yeah, they have not changed the art for a long time for this. This is red and 4 colourless mana. Lava Axe deals 5 damage to target player or planeswalker.
Number of times I wish I had this.
Yeah. It can't target creatures. Is the only thing. So you're spending 5 mana just to deal damage to someone's face. Probably not the best for that reason.
It's not. It is a classic card, and it does have its uses, but
it's not what I would draft.
No, I wouldn't. No. I wouldn't go for it in favour of some of the other things. Like even I'd probably pick like Spark over this, which is a lot lower damage but much more useful.
Lower cost too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Next up is Invoke the Divine.
Invoke the Divine is white and 2 colourless for instant. Destroy target artifacts or enchantment you gain 4 life. Very niche. See, this is actually a reprint, and it was reprinted recently. It was in Dominaria, the previous set, and in that set, it was excellent because there were a lot of artifacts and enchantments just kicking around. So
this is one of these cards that I put in my sideboard.
Aha!
You see, there's a term I learned recently. It sat there, and when I got my face beaten by a guy with lots of enchantments, it came in, and it was useful. Every time I had that in my hand, I found a use for it.
Yeah, and it's one of these ones where if you're in white, you want to have access to it, but you probably don't. You don't want it in your main deck usually, and we're probably not first picking it.
Yeah, I'd sideboard it at best.
Yeah. All right, what have we got next?
Next up is Gearsmith Guardian. First
Gearsmith
colourless.
Guardian, 5 colourless for an artifact creature construct. Gearsmith Guardian gets +2/+0 as long as you control a blue creature. It is a 3/5.
5/5 for 5.
5/5 for 5 if you're in blue.
Doesn't matter what colour you're playing. You want to play blue, obviously.
Yes.
I found this card to be the magic herpes of this set. It is in every pack I have cracked. I'm sick to death.
Is that a thing, or is that a Tom Mannering?
It's a Tom Mannering thing, like just stuff that gets everywhere and you can't get rid of it. Like, this card just seems to pop a block. And I mean, it's common, it's not like it's filling up a rare slot, but yeah, it's not very useful. I don't play blue much, so I wouldn't pick it.
No one admits to it, at least.
Okay.
Yeah, not on record.
First of our uncommons. We're ramping up to the big reveal. Enigma Drake.
Enigma Drake is a red, blue, and colourless creature. The attack power is star.
That's always interesting.
4. It has flying. Enigma Drake's power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard.
That's blue-red all over.
It is. This is a bit of a weird one. I can't imagine this being particularly good in sealed or draft. You're probably at tops going to have in your entire deck maybe like 5. Yeah, 8, and you're very heavy on spells.
Yeah.
Right? So getting that many of them into your graveyard, that's not going to be easy.
Especially when you're wanting to play things on curve. You want to play something every turn, because like when I was playing 9 times out of 10, as long as I was playing something every turn, my opponent generally wasn't. Mm-hmm. And if I could put something down every turn, I would just have more things than them and beat them up.
Yeah.
But to play a devil's advocate to that point, it's only 3 cost, it's got 4 defense, it's a flyer. Even if it's only running 2 attack, it's not a bad defense card in the air, and it can still chip down.
And it'll get bigger as time goes by. As you defend it or clear board with your spells, then it's only getting more powerful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's certainly not the best card, but I wouldn't be against including
it's probably and it's definitely not the worst card in the pack, but to me this is more angled at like casual constructed Magic, where you are building a deck that has lots of instants and sorceries in it.
Going away from sealed and draft play, there is a ton of dragon stuff in Core 19.
Yes.
And unfortunately this is a Drake.
I know.
So
it's such a tease.
Yeah.
Such a tease.
That would be awesome.
So I could be a dragon,
but I'm not.
I just don't have the front arms.
Right.
Next second. Up is, the second uncommon.
The second of the uncommons.
It's Aegis of the Heavens. Did I say that right?
I believe so. This is
Aegis?
I think it's Aegis.
This is a white and colourless for an instant. Target creature gets +1/+7 until end of turn. This is, as we were saying earlier, a combat trick.
A sort of reverse combat trick.
Yeah, you're probably using it more to save a creature than you are to push damage through. Yeah. The fact that it only buffs the power of your creature by 1, that's not great. I
mean, if you need 7 power to save your creature in combat, you're probably not gonna get over by 1 attack.
So it's I'm curious that this is This is uncommon as well, although I believe there's a rare card which lets your creatures deal damage equal to their toughness.
So that could be a nice combo.
So that's probably what this is angled towards, but that's...
Is that one of the dragons?
It's one of the dragons, yeah.
I think that's for defenders.
Yeah. Oh, is it just defenders as well?
It's for walls. Maybe. I may be wrong.
Right. But, yeah, not a great uncommon, to be honest.
Without having seen the rare,
okay,
I think this next uncommon would be my pick.
Alright.
Solely based on how much it beat my face.
Let's see it.
Blanchwood armor.
Oh, this is, yes, because this did similar things to me as well. So this is green and 2 colourless for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each forest you control.
In sealed, people took it. There was a lot of forests going down. There was a lot of white-green from what I've seen. It was still good. In draft, you probably have the card pool to play just green.
Yeah, you might be able to just get into the mono green deck. My opponent played this on a hexproof creature, so I couldn't kill it. It was horrible. This thing was like a 10-10 towards the end of the game. So
yeah, I had an opponent that had this on one creature and then had his planeswalker buffing the rest of his field, and he had something like 11-10, and you're just like, come on, mate. There's no way to get rid of it.
Put me out of my misery.
Let's get Invoke the Divine in.
Yeah.
I had to sideboard that. Yeah.
Okay, what's our rare?
Our rare today.
Yeah.
Goreclaw, Terror of Calcima.
I know this guy.
This guy was
familiar with his work.
Yeah,
this guy.
Big fan of his work.
He's a glass. This was in my pool as well. It is green and 3 colourless for a legendary creature, Bear. Creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater cost 2 colourless less to cast. Whenever Goreclaw, Terror of Calcima, attacks each creature you control with power 4 or greater gets +1/+1 and gains trample until end of turn.
That's weird.
And it is a 4/3. So I wasn't playing green in my deck. It just didn't quite work out. If I was, this card would be in it in a heartbeat.
That just wins you the game if you've already got a board.
Yeah. And the great thing is, so supposing this is pack 1, pick 1 in a draft, you take this guy first pick, and then you're just thinking, right, I'm going to be the green fatty deck, right, and just get all the big creatures, focus on mana ramping into them, and this guy helps perfectly with it.
Interestingly enough about this is that they've put this on a bear. This 4/3 bear that buffs all of his friends that are 4 or higher. But as far as I'm aware, bears are not standardly 4 power.
No. Bears are normally 2/2s.
But this isn't a standard bear, though. This is a legendary bear. So
Oh.
this is a named bear.
But he can't buff his bear friends.
No, but this is Goreclaw. He's a big deal.
Are you saying that Goreclaws went so far that he no longer hangs around with his bear friends?
he's
left
above
them
it.
behind.
Well, he hung out with them originally, but then he went to a gym, got swole, and now he's hanging out with all his other
all his
gym
treants
mates,
and
all his other four
dragons
power
and angels,
worms and all that stuff.
all the other bears who just wish they could be as big as Goreclaw.
He stands above them, literally.
I like my favourite part of this is that he gives, if they're power 4 or greater, they get +1/+1. So you can't even bring them up to his level. He just has to look down at them as all of him and his swole friends get bigger. This guy's an asshole. I'm not drafting Goreclaw.
Well, as a matter of principle.
As a matter of principle, he's too long a title as well. His title's longer than his name.
You can't trust someone who gives themselves a title longer.
He came up with that title and said, where even is Calcima?
Yeah. I'm not too clued up on the lore of Magic the Gathering. I'm sure one of our listeners let us know where Calcima is.
Just to point out, it's apparently a sheep.
Apologies, Miss Claw.
You don't want to know how she got that name. So apologies, Ms. Gorklaw.
Yeah, just Ms. Claw. Still a dickhead.
So if you're not taking Gorklaw out of principle, what are you taking?
I don't know. I don't know. If you take Gorklaw, you're sort of sitting there waiting for the pack to go around, going, please have Blanchwood armor still. please still be in there, Blanchwood armor.
Yeah.
I think for me, if this was my first pack, I'm going to take Gorklaw. Yeah. It's too easy. It's a strong
There's so
card.
many good green cards in this pack as well.
Yeah. The Druid of the Cowl is definitely decent.
You're tapping for mana, and then Gorklaw's making everything cheaper to play as well.
Yeah.
There's a couple of good 4-power creatures like the there's a charging boar, I think, perhaps.
Bristling boar.
Bristling boar. It's 4 power. 4 power for I think it was 4 or maybe even 3. Only one creature can block it, but I mean, if you're getting it for 2 less, that's crazy.
Yeah, right. It's definitely Gorklaw, but Leech's Caress with if I was past this pack, that's probably the card I'd be picking.
I'd be looking at possibly Divination as well if I was running blue. Not saying I would, especially not on record, but if I was running blue,
here. Tom runs blue and he enjoys it.
I've heard he's got a Jace costume.
We won't talk about that. That's just for me.
Let's think about that. So, how did we get on today, gents, at pre-release?
So I won 3. I lost to one person. He's sitting to my left-hand side, Mr. Bowers.
Thank you for the listeners that can't see us.
I was building up to it. It was tension.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, I won. I did really well. Every game that I won 2-0.
Yeah, nice.
And I got backhanded first round by Ewan.
It was probably the easiest game of Magic the Gathering of my life, I would say.
That's
nice.
No
big deal. No big deal.
I got mana. I got mana hosed twice,
which happens.
It does happen.
And this is, to be honest, people can complain about it, but this is a feature of the game, right? It's a little bit of a leveling mechanic. So what was your deck?
I was Rakdos, so I was black and red. I had, funnily enough, quite a few of these cards. I had Lich's Caress in there. I had the dragon.
It's a Drake.
I had...
No,
it's a dragon.
Apologies.
I had the Spartan dragon.
4 legs.
I had the Catalyst Elemental. I had the big guy with the grass on his back. It was an alright deck. It's not my proudest deck. I didn't really get a lot of good pulls. I was kind of relying on commons and uncommons to carry me through, and I got quite lucky in my last game. But I had some decent opponents who had good games against. I enjoyed it. I thought ComiCrazy was a good venue to play at. The people there seemed decent, and it was a good atmosphere. It was quite small. There's only 12 of us, I think.
Yeah, which was quite nice, I thought.
The previous pre-release, they were absolutely stout.
Yeah,
there must have been at least 30 people at that pre-release.
Yeah. So I was really impressed with ComiCrazy as well. Actually, very nice, airy stuff. I believe it used to be a bar a while ago.
Chinese restaurant,
and then Chinese restaurant. Yeah. It's had some career changes, that building. Yeah. So, I was very impressed. So
I think people shouldn't be put off by the fact that it's in Paisley, because it's sufficiently close to the train station that you don't have to mingle with the locals.
You can pretend it's not in Paisley.
Yeah, it could be any train station.
I don't know how many of our listeners are based in Paisley, guys, but we could be offending a significant number of the Unlucky Frog listener base.
Good.
Well, just on that note, I lived in Paisley for a long time, so I've done my time there. I feel like I've earned the right to take my shots.
Yeah, okay.
What about you, Josh? How did you find? What did you go for?
I put together a red-white deck. Boros. Mostly driven by the fact that I opened a Ajani, the Planeswalker. Really strong card. And it was quite an aggressive deck. Quite a lot of the knights in there, and a couple of the goblins. And got one of my rares was the goblin that buffs other goblins. So
did you have the goblin motivator?
A goblet, instigator. Yes, I did.
No. There's the motivator and the instigator.
I didn't realise there was a Mr. Motivator.
So the goblin motivator is a cost 1, and you can tap him to give any creature haste.
So as everyone's running onto the board, he's like, "Come on, guys, get in there!"
I'm picturing him dressed like Mr. Motivator, in that 90s sort of spandex.
That says more about you than it does about that card, to be honest.
I'll take that. But I was very lucky today. I won all 3 of my matches, all 2-1, and they're all rather close as well, has to be said.
Good,
but pretty pleased with how I did.
Out of 3 games, to go 3 for 3 is respectable.
Yeah. And then Mr. Bowers, as you said already, you were Abzan. You went into a 3rd colour.
It was risky for my first ever sealed to go 3 colours, I would say. But I'd read up a bit and I'd heard that you can splash these things. I didn't find it too bad. Unlike Mr. Manring, I never got hosed for mana. There was sometimes I was sort of sitting around going, "Come on, Swamp, come on, I'm waiting on you." But I'll never be punished when it comes to card games. I would always get it and get to play my thing.
Because you trust in the heart of the cards.
I do trust in the heart of the cards, primarily.
There is one common bit of wisdom here. If someone was to give you a choice of being good or being lucky,
always go lucky.
You pick lucky every time.
So I went 2-1.
Yeah, nice.
My first game, Tom beat himself. As I sort of participated, he has
just watched a man just curl up into the fetal position.
I'm really glad you went 2-1. I don't think we'd be sitting here talking if you hadn't.
I was in a pretty low place at the end of that first game. I could feel the rage sort of simmering. Why?
I wasn't sure how I wasn't sure how I was going to do. So going into that first game and sort of going, my deck's playing really well. And like looking across the table at like nothing going down and no mana going down, I goes, I'm not sure if this is going well or if Baz curving out. I was throwing creatures down. At the second game, I won that 2-1 against a guy who, as I said previously, 11-10s and just enchantments everywhere and huge dudes. But I just went super wide, so I was playing white, and blocked everything. He was green with no trample. Then third game I played against the guy who came first, and I got absolutely smashed. There's no two ways about it.
If you're going to lose to someone, lose to the guy who's won the whole thing, to be fair.
Yeah.
If you'd beat him, you probably would have come first as well.
Oh, I couldn't not come first.
Yeah.
There we are.
Well, you went 2-1, so I got 2-0 in my first game.
You're welcome.
So it was all good. I didn't draw anything good, particularly. I had a couple of rares in the deck, but I found that relying on my little common dudes and having a core of very similar common dudes. I mean, I'd read up before, and I was like, okay, if I see that, I'll play this colour. If I see that, I'll play this colour. None of that came up. I just got dudes, and I was like, okay, dudes, we're playing with you, I guess.
The big B team. The big difference with doing a pre-release where you're just doing sealed. You get given 6 packs and a promo card that you can play as well.
Then get tossed.
Yeah, but you get given 6 packs. The big difference between that and draft, when you're taking a pack, you're picking one card and passing it to the next player, is you can build a much more refined deck in draft. You can build, if you want, like a super aggressive deck that tops out at like 4 mana or something ridiculous like that. So this was actually your first Magic the Gathering pre-release?
For a long time. It's my first pre-release.
Yeah.
My first event in a long time. I played a little bit at Theros. A little bit. I went to some drafts, got beat up and got cards. Not physically. But Emotionally.
You made it sound a bit like you went there to get beat up and people gave you cards for
That's what I was looking for.
The physical abuse.
That's what I was looking for. It scratched both of our edges.
Not weird at all.
Not
weird at all.
Strange Magic Fight Club.
Yeah.
That's it.
What's piqued your interest again? Why have you come back?
They're doing a lot of promotion for new players. I've seen that. There's a lot of like their new decks coming out, like the Planeswalker decks. I don't know if that's a common thing. It's getting pushed in my face.
Right, okay.
Primarily, I'm seeing a lot and maybe it's because I'm involving myself in it, but I'm getting a lot more advertising splashback.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
The marketing strategy is working.
It is working. I am the target market.
Good job, Wizards of the Coast PR.
You're doing a good job. I'm a nerd in my mid-20s with money.
Yeah,
I am the perfect person to bring.
Oh yeah.
I think this is a good set for bringing new people in because it's gone back to sort of Magic's origins a little bit. You know, you've got red is goblins and dragons, black is zombies and skeletons, you know, green's beasties and elves and so on and so forth. So it's a nice intro set with some cool cards, some nice mechanics, nothing too complex, nothing too sort of...
It seems to be like the standard Planeswalkers as well. So and the big guy, Big Nicol Bolas is the arch enemy,
the big bad.
So it does feel like the back to basics.
Yeah,
a lot of the cards are very simple, which I appreciate. There's no set mechanics attached to it. So I mean, I think it's the perfect thing for me to get in, and I'm excited to play some sort of limited to core 19 stuff and build on my collection from there.
There we go.
Good job.
We go. Could either of you see yourselves getting into like the competitive scene at all?
No.
Good talk.
Good conversation.
I have some experience playing with some competitive players. Some of my favourite local game stores that shall not be named. I a lot of it left me emotionally scarred.
You were trying to find a delicate way of putting that, and then just went whoom.
No, a lot of it was some of these players out there. Be nice to each other, guys. I mean, we went to Battle Bond. I think that's really what got me back in. We went to their dual.
Yeah, two-headed giant.
Two-headed giant. Yeah. We went to a two-headed giant thing. Me and Tom had a good time. We had a good innings. I think we went 1 and 2.
1-2. Yeah.
We beat.
Did you
beat someone?
Did you have fun?
We had some fun.
We had some fun. I would say it was great. I had a great time drafting. I had a great time talking shit with people.
Yeah.
And it was when it came to actually gaming. Some of the players were
a little less than ideal.
Bit condescending.
Not even condescending. Maybe a little condescending.
A little condescending, a little overbearing. Probably is the best way to put it. The thing that puts me off competitive format is it to me it can feel quite sort of a closed scene, and if you're not up to par, you can be kind of looked down upon. And for me, it's not what Magic's about. I like kind of the narrative. I like playing with people I know. I don't mind meeting new people and getting involved with them, but I want to feel comfortable. And I just want to have fun and play out some cool scenes.
I'm all about the kitchen table.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sitting around it right now.
Yes.
Imagine we're going to play some Magic as well. So
maybe
the cards are sitting here.
I've still got my pre-release deck.
I've tore it down. I've tore mine down. I've got to get the rares out for my new trade binder.
There we go.
What about you? Has this pulled you back into the competitive scene?
No.
So there you go, folks.
Yeah.
Absolute failure.
I feel like I've been there and done that.
Yeah.
Like what's your history with Magic?
So I've been playing since like properly, I would say, since 2013. So for about 5 years now. And a couple of years, I did make a bit more of an effort with like competitive Magic. Like I would go to like the Pro Tour qualifiers, like went to competed in a couple of the Grand Prix as well, which are the very big tournaments. Hundreds
are those
of different
open
players.
Entry? Anyone can turn up.
Yes, they are. The closed entry ones, the Pro Tour itself, you need to earn a place on it. So
is that what that number was we got?
You get your
you get a DCI number, and that tracks your record basically.
Am I going to have DCI points?
No, honestly, right? You'll be able to log on to a website. You'll be able to go and see your entire Magic career.
I came third.
Yeah, that's good.
This might be the start. You hear it here, right?
There
now.
we go.
The start of a professional
Watch this
career.
space, right?
Yeah.
Ewan Bowers, world champion.
It may happen.
I think the thing is, we all had a good time. We're all psyched about the set. We're psyched about the game. Maybe not psyched about the competitive scene, but that's not necessarily what it's about. You get what you want out of it. So
I'm excited to go back to ComiCrazy and maybe try some drafts.
Yeah,
it seems
definitely.
like where the fun is.
keep it simple.
Yeah.
Right. And with that note, I think that's all we've got time for. So, Tom, Ewan, thank you very much for joining us on the podcast.
It's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
We're glad to have both of you back at some point in the future. And guys at home, thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
You need
Bye.
a cool sign-off phrase.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Hi there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. This is Ewan Bowers for the Unlucky Frog Gaming Podcast, executive producer. I believe that's my title. I believe I put enough into the Patreon. You too can put money into the Patreon. It's highly recommended. It helps these guys out. But if you're too cheap, there's always the Twitter and the Facebook page. You can get those on just searching Unlucky Frog Gaming. And there's also a website, www.unluckyfrog.com.
I want to be a producer.
You can't. There can only be one producer, Tom.